preacher Abu Hamza and 4 other British nationals can be extradited from the UK to America. The European Court of Human Rights has ruled today, also on the programme, North Korea's terrifying golf ball of death, pregnant mum talks of her machete terror, sky-high security breach at Europe's tallest building. Good afternoon and welcome to Tuesday's Lunchtime News. Radical preacher Abu Hamza and 4 other British nationals can be extradited from the UK to America. The European Court of Human Rights ruled today. The ruling stated that the 5 men would not be subjected to ill treatment in the US. The court adjourned its decision on a 6th British national, Harun Rashid Aswat, pending consideration of further complaints lodged by him. It is believed the 5 men could appeal the decision to the Grand Chamber at the European Court of Human Rights. Speaking to ITV News, the Home Secretary Theresa May said the government would ensure the suspects were handed over quickly as possible. However, it could still take months. The Muslim cleric Hamza is serving a 7-year sentence in maximum security Belmarsh prison for soliciting murder and inciting racial hatred. The European Court of Human Rights halted extradition proceedings in July 2010, saying they needed time to consider arguments that Hamza could be exposed to possible life imprisonment without parole and solitary confinement in the US. Egyptian-born Hamza is wanted in the US on 11 charges related to taking 16 hostages in Yemen in 1998, promoting violent jihad and Afghanistan in 2001, and conspiring to set up a jihad training camp in Oregon, America. Baba Ahmad, a 36-year-old computer expert who has been in UK prison without trial for nearly 8 years, will also face extradition to the US. He has been refused bail since his arrest in August 2004 on a US extradition warrant and is accused of providing support to terrorists and conspiracy to kill, maim or injure people and damage property in a foreign country. Both Ahmad and Hamza appealed separately to the European Court in Strasbourg on grounds that their treatment could violate Human Rights Convention Article 3, banning torture and inhuman or degrading treatment. All eyes on North Korea once again, a country that is extremely secretive, but is also very good at drawing lots of attention. Today, the North Korean Vice Director of the Space Development Department announced that the rocket, the Unha-3, which he says will be used to put a satellite into orbit, is now ready to launch. The window for the launch is still the 12th to the 16th. They are hoping for a clearer sky, but forecast is cloudy for the next few days. What we can expect for the rest of the week is stormy diplomatic weather. Today, China said it is concerned with the development of this situation. Japan is threatened to shoot down the rocket if it comes close to its territory, even though North Korea says the proposed flight path avoids neighbouring countries. South Korea, as you might expect, is furious. So, North Korea is between a rocket and a hard place. However, the missile satellite launch is a real threat. One space expert I have spoken to says that the small lifting power of the rockets used to put satellites into space means a warhead would be very small. Some skeptics have dubbed the North Korean nuclear missile threat as the terrifying golf ball of death. Of course, you could put something much lighter than a ton of nuclear weapon into a rocket and ruin a lot of people's days, a toxin for example, or some radioactive substance. Can North Koreans hit the US mainland? Yes, if you believe the White House, which with auxiliary boosters, long-range missiles in the North Korean armory can hit the US. They can certainly hit US targets in South Korea. The South Korean capital is in artillery range of the North. Put North South Korea on brink of war in a search engine, you can get more than 66 million results. As the rocket is launched, tensions will rise once again. Victoria Rotherham has described her ordeal after an armed gang broke into her cottage at Wallerton near Market Drayton, Shropshire. The burglars, who were brandishing machetes and a baseball bat, tied the pregnant woman to a chair. The 28-year-old was threatened in front of her 3-year-old son, Oliver. She told Daybreak, "I just told him, do as Mummy says, everything is fine. I knew I had to stay calm for him, but underneath I was absolutely terrified." The burglary took place on the same day as a second in the same village. The occupants of both houses were assaulted but are not thought to have been seriously injured. Detective Inspector Pete Brophy from West Mercia Police has asked the public for their help. Victoria admits the incident has left her living in fear, but insists she will not be forced out of her home. And finally, a former student who says he scaled Europe's tallest building has claimed he could do so again tomorrow in spite of increased security. Bradley L. Garrett claimed his group of urban explorers has climbed the 1,016-foot Shard in London half a dozen times and could do so again in spite of security being stepped up at the site. It is impossible to secure a site that big. The security guards that work on the site are only human. No one wants to sit there watching cameras 12 hours a day. They are going to have to take breaks. They are going to have to take walks, he said. There are going to be times when they are not watching. There are going to be times when they are changing shifts. But the 31-year-old from Los Angeles in the US, who completed a PhD on urban exploration in February, said he and his group had done with the Shard for now. "We do not break anything, we do not alter anything. 90% of the time, no one even knows we have been in and out of the place," he added. Mr. Garrett, who lives in Clapham, southwest London, said his group had first scaled the building to watch New Year's Eve fireworks over London in December 2010. His comments come after pictures apparently showing a group of trespassers posing at the top of the unfinished skyscraper were posted on Mr. Garrett's webblog, Place Hacking. The series of time images are said to be taken at the summit of the building. One image shows a man sitting in the cab of the crane at the top of the giant glass skyscraper, which is due to be completed in June, while others show the trespassers climbing up ladders, running up the side of the towering structure. A number of aerial views of central London, apparently taken from the top of the Shard, were also posted. Describing the moment they reached the top of the skyscraper, Mr. Garrett said, "We were so high I couldn't see anything moving at street level, no buses, no cars, just rows of lights and train lines that looked like converging river systems and giant urban circuit board." A spokesman for Seller Property Group, the developer, and Mace, the main contractor, declined to comment on Mr. Garrett's claims that it was still possible to scale the building, or his claims that the group had climbed up the building half a dozen times. "We believe this in an incident that took place around December 2010 when we were undertaking both ground and structure works," he said. The breach was discovered very soon afterwards, and security immediately tightened. Today, security on the site is tight, with 14 nighttime security guards on duty continuously who cover all areas, as well as 25 CCTV cameras in operation together with a ground floor level laser alarm system. Scotland Yard said it had not received any complaints about the alleged break-in. The Shard has become the tallest building in the European Union and the 45th tallest in the world. It surpassed the previous record holder for the capital, 1 Canada Square at Canary Wharf, which stands at 2,035 metres or 703 foot and was completed. And that is it this lunchtime. I'm back with the GAP evening news, that's at 6:30. The national weather is next. But from all of us, for now, have a great afternoon. Bye bye.